All right, let's talk about something we've all been through, the dreaded slump. You know, that awful feeling when it seems like nothing you do is working? To figure out how to break out of it, we're going to dive deep into the world of professional poker. Why? Because in that world, mastering a losing streak isn't just a nice skill to have, it's absolutely essential for survival. I mean, you know the feeling, right? Whether you're at your job, playing a sport, or even just working on a personal project, you hit a wall. Suddenly, every move feels like the wrong one, and every outcome is just another disappointment. Man, it's so frustrating. It's demoralizing, and honestly, it can make you want to just throw in the towel. Well, poker players have a name for this, and more importantly, they have a playbook for how to escape it.
So first things first, we've got to understand what we're actually up against. In poker, they call this a downswing, and the most crucial first step is just accepting that it's a totally normal, inevitable part of the game. Any game, really. The pros don't waste time asking if it's going to happen. They ask why it's happening right now.
See, a losing streak is almost always a mix of two different things. On one side, you've got what they call variance, and that's just pure, random, can't do anything about it bad luck. But on the other side, you've got leaks. These are those small, sneaky little errors in your own strategy, mistakes that pile up over time. The best players in the world, they always assume it's a combination of both, and they immediately start looking for the parts they can actually control. And this, right here, is the real kicker. The biggest damage from a losing streak isn't the actual losses, it's what it does to your head. It just eats away at your confidence, plants all these seeds of self-doubt, and can push you into what poker players call tilt. And tilt is that dangerous state of mind where frustration and emotion take over, causing you to make even worse decisions. It's a vicious downward spiral. So if there's one core idea you need to tattoo on your brain to get through this, it is this right here. You can't control the outcome of the next hand or the next project. It's just not possible. But you absolutely can control your process and the quality of your decisions. Shifting your focus away from the results, which are random, and onto your decisions, that is the huge first step to taking back control. Okay, so you're in the thick of it. You're feeling that pressure build. What's your first move? Well, it isn't to double down and fight harder, no. The first and smartest strategic move is to just stop. And listen, this isn't giving up. Think of it as a calculated tactical retreat to regroup and get your head straight. But look, a break has to be a real break. It's kind of like a three-step process. First, you have to completely disconnect. I mean, totally. Go do something that has nothing to do with what you were struggling with. Second, you have to genuinely rest and recharge. Sleep is a secret weapon against bad decision-making. And then finally, when you come back, you'll see the problem with fresh eyes, with a much cleaner, less emotionally charged perspective. And while you're on that break, it's the absolute perfect time for what you could call an emotional detox. This just means actively dealing with all that frustration and anxiety that's built up. You know, things like journaling, meditation, or even just some simple deep breathing exercises can help you manage that internal storm so it doesn't follow you back when you return. All right, so you've cleared your head. The emotional storm is past. Now you're ready for the next phase. It's time to put on your detective hat. This is the part where you have to put your ego aside and just objectively, clinically, analyze your performance to find those leaks we were talking about earlier. And here's the toolkit you're going to use for this investigation. You can go back and review your past work, just looking for patterns. If you have them in your field, data analysis tools can be a godsend. But you know, one of the most powerful tools out there is just asking a trusted friend or mentor for their honest opinion. Seriously, a fresh set of eyes can spot a mistake you've become totally blind to. And as you're reviewing, this is the one question you have to ask yourself for every single loss. In poker terms, was it a cooler or a bad beat? Which basically means you did everything right and just got hit by some terrible luck, or was it a mistake, something you did wrong? Learning to be brutally honest with yourself about the difference between bad luck and bad play, that is absolutely critical for getting better. So we've done the analysis, we found the problems, now it's time to rebuild. This next part is all about creating the structure and the habits that make you resilient so that the next downswing, and there will be a next one, doesn't hit you nearly as hard. You know, the pros don't rely on willpower. Willpower runs out. They rely on routine. And here are some of the most effective habits you can build. Set clear boundaries for yourself. When you'll start, when you'll stop. Have a little warm-up ritual to get your mind right before you even begin. And maybe most importantly, learn to recognize your own personal warning signs of tilt before they take over. And here is a brilliant, totally counterintuitive strategy. When you're struggling, don't try to do more to win it all back. Do less. Reduce the number of projects you're juggling or tables you're playing. Focus all of your mental energy on making a smaller number of really high-quality decisions. The goal here is to rebuild your confidence through excellence, not through sheer volume. Which brings us to the final, and I think the most important part of all this, the mental game. Because all of these strategies we've talked about, taking a break, the analysis, the routines, they're all designed to support one thing, a fundamental shift in your mindset toward facing adversity. So let's just lay it all out here and compare what works versus what's just really risky. Notice how the good strategies, like taking a break or studying hard, are all disciplined and proactive. But the really dangerous one, chasing losses, is purely emotional. It's a trap. It feels so tempting in the moment, but it almost always just digs a deeper hole. Ultimately, if you take one big idea away from all of this, let it be this. You have to reframe what a loss even means. It's not a punishment. It's not some final verdict on your skills. It is simply feedback. A losing streak is stressful for sure, but it is also an incredibly valuable opportunity to find your weaknesses, fix them, and get that much stronger. So, how do you keep your spirits up when the results just aren't coming? You have to celebrate the process. Did you manage to stay calm when everything was going wrong? Hey, that's a win. Did you stick to your strategy even when it was tough? That's a huge win. Reward yourself for the good decisions you make, and always remember that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And that brings us to the final, and I think the most powerful question you can ask yourself. A losing streak really forces you to decide what you're actually playing for. Are you obsessed with the short-term result of just winning the next hand? Or are you dedicated to the long process of truly mastering the entire game? The answer to that changes everything.